What is One Piece? The only thing I know about One Piece, guys, is that comic beat Superman. It has officially sold more comics than Superman, so that makes me kind of mad. So I gotta learn about this, guys.
The One Piece is the name of the treasure that Joy Boy left on the island of Laugh Tale 800 years ago. In all of that time, only one pirate crew, led by Pirate King Goldie Roger, has set foot on that island to confirm that this treasure actually exists. So to find the One Piece, you need to find Laugh Tale. To find Laugh Tale, you need to find the 4 road poneglyphs that give you the coordinates. To find the 4 road poneglyphs, you need to find Lodestar Island, which informs you about the poneglyphs to begin with.
Okay, already I can tell this is a very well set up story. It gives you a lot of journey and adventure, and it's got that pirate vibe, which I really like. I won't say that I would like it more than Superman, but I do like that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm starting to see it a little bit, but what is the One Piece? What is that?
But to find Lodestar Island, you need to sail all the way to the end of the New World. But to find the New World, you need to sail to the end of Paradise. And to find Paradise, you need to find Reverse Mountain to enter the Grand Line. However, to enter Reverse Mountain, you need to source a worthy vessel and crew capable of navigating the perilous and deathsome entrance. And to
okay, so obtaining it is impossible? Is that what I'm getting?
Find all of the things I just said. You need to leave your cute little windmill village and set out on your adventure, little boy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do. Which is why...
Yeah, man, that's a lot of stuff to do.
Even now, 24 years after the death of Goldie Roger, no one has managed to go all the way. But the question...
Oh, so One Piece is old? Like it's been around for a while?
The question is, why bother? What is it that we're...
Oh, wait. That might be the death in the story.
Fighting for. What is this treasure? This is a question that fictional pirate scholars have been working...
Wait. So... Wait. It's called One Piece, but nobody actually knows what the One Piece is? Is that right? Or is he just saying, like, that's kind of how they do it? Or we would literally not know what the One Piece is? What?
Tirelessly to determine ever since One Piece first began in 1997. And what I've done is condense their work into approximately 10 minutes for you to watch while you're on your way to work or the gym or the toilet or something. Be warned, fictional pirate analysts are no joke, even if they do have the word anal in their title. But there is a genuine chance that one of the theories in this video will spoil the greatest mystery of this series for you, and it feels...
Wait. He said theory, right?
One of the joke, even if they do have the word anal in their title. But there is
I'm glad I got to see that twice.
A genuine chance that one of the theories in this video will spoil the greatest mystery.
Okay, one of the theories in this video. So they may or may not have gotten it right. Okay, all right. Well, I'm willing to hear
this series for you, and it feels only right to give you the opportunity to flee if you so desire. And with that warning complete, and with you having completely ignored it, here is every major theory to solve the mystery of the One Piece. The first being the thought that every one of us has had at some point whilst reading or watching the series, which is that the One Piece is the journey itself and the friends we made along the way.
I'd be ticked. I would be so mad. You get there, you're all sweating, people have died. You pull out in the box is a little piece of paper and it says, "Congratulations, you've made friends." No, that can't be it. That cannot be it. There's no way. Put in the comments what you think the One Piece is. And let me know if I should learn about more One Piece stuff. It's kind of intriguing, the story so far. It seems really cool. I don't know if it's beat Superman cool, but I do think it seems like it's pretty cool.
We're starting with this one because this is how most series would cop out and answer the impossible mystery that's been set up. Although, to be fair, if any story called for it, it is definitely One Piece, given the major elements of friendship and adventure. However, such a solution actively discussed author Eiichiro Oda, who in an interview in 2019 stated,
"It sounds like it's a thing. I'm thinking this is going to clarify that.
The One Piece is not the Bond of the Straw Hats. I hate that kind of thing. When I was a kid, I was not happy with the ending of The Wizard of Oz, that the adventure itself was the treasure. That
But there were tornadoes and dwarves. I mean, that's... Oh, little people. Little people. I never remember I'm not very good at PC, guys. I have no idea what you're supposed to say.
Story was unacceptable. Luffy is going to
I think it's little people. I think it's what it is.
have a great journey, so I'm going to give him a proper treasure. So there we have it. If anyone was still hanging on to the beliefs that the One Piece may be the friends we made along the way, stop it. And what this statement gives us is two concrete criteria for the One Piece, being that one, it needs to be something either tangible or something that can only be experienced upon reaching Laugh Tale.
Okay, I know absolutely nothing about One Piece. I didn't even realize that One Piece was about treasure until this video started. But to me, it makes a lot more sense that it is indeed a tangible item. What I'm wondering is if the creators, which did he say the creator died, or was that somebody in the story? If the creator actually even knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm curious.
And two, it needs to be something that would reward Luffy personally, because this is a story and the author wants to appropriately compensate his main character for the journey undertaken.
Is that a tattoo or is that chest hair? What's going on there? It's like a kid, right? Like, I have no idea what's happening.
And there's a third criteria as well, which is that whatever the One Piece is, it needs to be absolutely hilarious. In chapter 967, we saw the Pirate King Goldie Roger and his crew land at Laugh Tale and gaze upon the legendary One Piece, to which the reaction was, Roger just laughed. And so did we all. We laughed until tears sprang to our eyes.
Well, why, though?
This one moment actively destroyed decades of theory crafting. Ideas like the One Piece is the true history of the world or something to do with the ancient weapons, all out the window, useless, gone, because they're not funny ideas. Weapons and history are not funny, especially history, which is a 50-50 combination of death and boring, which is why I switched to biology in my final year of high school. You know what is fun though? Music, which leads us to prominent theory number 2, which as of the time it is I'm speaking has yet to be disproven.
Music. Is he saying that the One Piece could be like an instrument or something? Because honestly, like I said, the first theory would tick me off if it was the journey. That would tick me off too. It would need to be valuable.
And this is something that may not immediately strike you with One Piece, but music is extremely important. And part of the reason why it may not immediately resonate is because music—
I know nothing about it, so yeah,
is a very difficult idea to come across in manga. But Luffy has been gunning to get a musician on his crew ever since the very beginning. It was his priority over all other—
His party needs a bard, right, D&D brothers and sisters? Sisters?
Crew roles including doctor, navigator, and cook. Music is very important to Luffy. So if we wanted something to reward him with, then the One Piece being a song would actually work quite nicely for him. However, this—
I'm not even part of this fandom, right? That's a big stretch, right? I feel a song, an instrument maybe that like only the gods have heard or something, right? Like maybe that, but a song? I don't know.
Goes further, so much further, because we've almost certainly already heard this song and heard it like a lot. There's a famous jaunty tune in the One Piece world called Binks, a song that's exact origin can't be traced, but pirates have sung it since the ancient times.
The Yo-Ho song?
Meaning that it was likely created during the Void Century, considering that Joy Boy was the world's very first pirate. But this song is a common thread through all generations.
Joy Boy? Is that I haven't heard any people's names. I thought this was going to be a video about telling me what One Piece is, the story. It kind of is, but that's not really the point of it. The point is what is the One Piece? So I'm like, who are all these characters? What are they good or bad?
Down, and it has some very curious lyrics. There's even a terrifyingly convincing theory that the lyrics of Binks tell the entire story of One Piece in a cryptic way. However, what we're concerned about for the sake of this video is the final lyric, Hatanashi, Atanashi, Wadai Banashi, which translates as never ending, ever wondering, how funny, Laugh Tale, which just so happens to be the name of the island containing the One Piece, Laugh Tale. Now, it was Goldie Roger who gave the island—
I did not catch that. Laugh Tale. Oh, it could just be a big freaking joke, man.
And its name? Its original name has been lost for a millennia, and Roger almost certainly named it after the Binks song, which he and his crew sang frequently. But the song itself, again, comes from the Void Century and the time of Joy Boy. And Joy Boy is the one who originally left the One Piece treasure. So this has led to the very popular idea that the answer has been in front of us the entire time. That the One Piece is the title of the song, Binks Sake. A bottle of sake delivered to Laugh Tale by Joy Boy and his crew as described in the song. The lyrics—
Sake? Is that what he's talking about? He pronounces it different than I do. I'm sure I don't say it right, but that's I know it is sake.
It's all about sailing across the world to deliver Binks sake to a certain location. And with that in mind, it's very possible that this song is all about Joy Boy delivering the One Piece to Laugh Tale.
Wait, is there a baby elephant in this story? Is there? I need to know in the comments, right? Is there a baby elephant in this story? I'm gonna have to pick up a comic book or watch a show. I can't even figure out. I know so little about this subject. Y'all keep recommending to me to learn about it. I just picked a video because I couldn't find any actual video recommendation.
And it's what he and his crew sang on their journey to do so.
This is what happened when you don't give me a link, guys. I need a link.
Which makes a lot of sense with why Roger and his entire crew
But is there a baby elephant? I've got to know.
When they found the One Piece, because it was the sake from the song that they'd been singing for decades on their journey to get there. However, the problem with Binks sake being an actual bottle of sake is that it's not a worthy reward for Luffy. Not because it's too small or mediocre or anything, but because Luffy himself doesn't drink. This would be more of a Zoro-focused reward, who would down it faster than a
dude's got green hair.
Clown can deep throat a whole pineapple that one time. And as fantastic as One Piece being the Binks sake song itself would be, I am reminded of Oda's disappointment in The Wizard of Oz, and I can't help but feel that he would also see something like this as a cop-out as well. It could be the answer, I cannot disprove it, but I can give you what is, at this stage, a much more likely theory, which I would describe as out of this world, if it wasn't literally the exact opposite of that. It is the world, let me explain. When written in Japanese, the One Piece treasure is the Hitotsunagi no Daiho. Now, Daiho means great hidden treasure, whereas Hitotsunagi means, well, that's the problem, we're not quite sure. This is tricky, very tricky, because
what are we sure about? What do we know? Do we know about the elephant?
Because the word Hitotsunagi is written in hiragana instead of kanji. The reason why this is tricky is because in Japanese, you can say words in the exact same way with completely different meanings, and the way you identify the specific meaning is in writing by examining the kanji used, which we cannot do. Oda has gone to such great lengths to hide the secret of this treasure that even doing something as simple as spelling it out with characters would give the entire game away. So for example, one way you could spell it with kanji is this Hitotsunagi, meaning that which connects people together, or this Hitotsunagi, meaning one sea at peace. These are two examples of God and L knows how many. And I know this isn't exclusive.
Peace, like not a piece though.
To Japanese, we do have homophones in English, which is which, etc. But it's nowhere near the same level of variety and, more importantly, quantity that exists within almost every word in Japanese. However, it was these two kanji spellings that were identified as key contenders because it makes so much sense, with one of the strongest theories to this very day being that the One Piece is the planet itself.
God, I know nothing about this franchise, but these theories are ticking me off. A song, a journey, the earth. Like, no, okay, it needs to be just a big old piece of gold or something, or like a piece of a thing that if you stick it in another thing, you got a flying ship or something. You know, like, these are terrible theories. What about the elephant?
That which connects people, or one sea at peace. This is the One Piece planet, and it is currently divided into 7 seas. The 4 blues, the Grand Line, the New World, and the Calm Belts. Now that makes 7, and crucially, 7 is not the same as 1. However, these 7 seas would be...
7's not the same as 1. Sounds accurate, it does.
One big sea if you remove the red line. This funky red continent that circumnavigates the entire world.
I hear that again.
Red line. This funky red continent that's circumnavigates the entire world. If you remove the red line, then you can sail from one sea to any other sea. And thus you would effectively turn the world into one piece, which fits either kanji meaning we want to go with. And in this case, Luffy's reward...
Okay, still ticked off, but understanding how that could be possibility.
Would be freedom. It's a common misconception that Luffy's dream is to become the Pirate King. To be fair, it's a misconception spread by Luffy himself, who didn't reveal his true desire until more than 1,000 chapters into the series. And while his exact endgame is a mystery to readers, Luffy's primary desire...
I can't tell by their clothes what day and age it is. Like decade, like they're pirates, right? But their clothes don't look like they're old. I'm confused.
Desire is to become the most free person on the planet, and removing the one key barrier that stops him going anywhere he likes. That sounds pretty freeing to me. And this was the leading idea all the way up until this year, 2024 AD, when an old man with an apple head would go on to change everything. Recently we've...
With an apple head. This is as ludicrous as the story of Mario, the original game.
learned some rather disturbing information about the history of this world. But disturbing as it may be, it is something that shows that the planet idea is on the right track. We've just been focusing on the wrong aspect. During Egghead Island, Dr. Vegapunk revealed...
Is it like, instead of separating the left and the right, like going down in, like there's a new world underneath, maybe?
The shocking truth that the planet was flooded during the Void Century, and that there is an entire world hidden in the dark depths of the sea.
I'm good. Although this is just theory, so I'm good at nothing because it's not confirmed. But I got it. Y'all heard me.
The way this flooding was accomplished was likely by using the ancient weapons, or at least one weapon, Uranus, which is capable of erasing islands and raising the global sea level by 1 meter per island. So during the Void Century, global sea levels rose by 200 meters. And if you're mathematically inclined, then you'll quickly calculate that that could mean that up to 200
I am not mathematically inclined, no.
islands were destroyed during this period. Except not really, because back then we wouldn't have called them islands. We would have called them continents, and perhaps even continent singular, because almost
Pangea.
every island was originally connected by land. Land which modern people folk now mistakenly refer to
Its head is just stuck upward.
as the sea floor. So again, right idea with the planets, but wrong idea with the red line. Instead, what we need to do is find a way to drain the planet. If we can restore the water back to pre-Void Century levels, then that accomplishes the dawn of the world.
That seems dangerous. I don't know if that's... I was happy with this theory, and now I'm not.
A vaguely defined future where sunlight is allowed to touch the sleeping civilizations currently lying in the pitch black ocean.
Well, how do you drain the world without losing all of the important water?
Which would then unite the planet into one piece, not by connecting all the seas, but by connecting all of the islands by land. Which makes sense with the words spoken by Roger.
Okay. How will that be beneficial? That might be disastrous. You'd have like Arctic places turning hot, hot places turning cold, animals dying. But it would be one piece.
He found out what the One Piece was. Kozuki Oden's journal entry stated, "We learned the entire truth of the world. What the 100-year void is, what the people of D are, what the ancient weapons are. And in the face of that vast treasure, which was very real indeed, Roger just laughed. And so did we all. We laughed until tears sprang to our eyes.
I don't know why.
Then Roger spoke. Oh, Joy Boy, I wish I'd been born in your time." And it's hypothesized.
So there's like a cartoon of this, right? That's happening, or is it just a comic? Am I wrong? I don't know. Or a live action show? Something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys.
That Roger said this because knowing that his multi-decade adventure only accounted for a fraction of what the planet had to offer would have had him envious of the days of Joy Boy, where people could adventure freely and endlessly, which I think is the best possible reward for Luffy. At the end of his long adventure, Luffy finds out that there is an even greater journey waiting for him, one so big that multiple lifetimes wouldn't be enough to cover. All of the adventure he can eat with none of the travel restrictions, because
all the adventure he can eat? Is that what he said?
If he so desired, he could spend the rest of his life walking from location to location, and the romance that began all the way back in
there's romance, is there?
Chapter 1 would never have to
I thought he was like a kid.
end. But you let me know in the comments which theory you like best, and if you have another idea on what the One Piece could be.
I do want to know in the comments, guys, what your theory is, or what you think the One Piece could be, which theory you like the most. Also, recommend me some videos on this topic if you want me to watch more of it that are like more descriptive of what One Piece is. That's pretty cool. Again, not Superman cool, like to beat Superman, but whatever. Okay, so like, remember, guys, like Superman, live humbly, do good.